Welcome everybody to the Garlet's High Performance Garage channel. I got the clear coat sanded down pretty good. Not sure how much clear I got on there. Not real sure, but it's the follow-up to the gouge in my door. Speaking of which, I'm going to have another one in a minute. I'm telling you. This is what happens when you ain't got a garage big enough. I'm taking fucking Monte Carlo seats up in the building today, in my shed. I'll let you check this out. Here we go. It's not the greatest, but I figure the clear or the compound will knock some of that down. So that's where I cleared it. And I did this big area because you couldn't really see because of the shitty lighting. I got my treble light here sticking on it. But yeah, we'll see what happens with it. I got some heavy duty compound. It's clear coat safe. See, that's what it's for. Says body shop safe. Okay, aggressive cutting compound. So, and I took this pad off. It's nothing but blue paint from this thing caked all over it. I believe this is a polishing pad, I think. But I'm going to use this to cut it. Vice versa here. I don't know. Ooh. I don't know. This is Harbor Freight shit. They don't even have any ratings on the backs. Like this one, I think it has. It's just got a number on it. Made in the USA. Ooh. Wow, that's a rarity, isn't it? Made in the fucking USA. Shit. Alright, well. We'll cut her and see what happens. I hope I don't get down into the fucking paint. Because if I do, I'm fucked. So, here goes nothing. Well, there it is. If you don't look for it, you can't really see it. But it's right there. But, you know, like I said, you might be able to see it in the sunshine. I don't know. I don't have the ability to pull it out today. For one, it needs fucking battery charged. And man. I tell you, you really got to watch what you're doing when you're carrying shit around it in your fucking tiny little garage. Because you will ram something into it. So, I pulled my own ass out of the fire, once again. This car, actually, it should have another buff done on it. Because that spot, you're going to see that real shiny spot on my fucking door. See, the trouble is, when I did this, you know, I'm not a body man of any sort. I'm not a painter. But I took a stab at it, and it turned out, I want to say average. It's not a professional job. Plus, I wanted a driver paint job anyhow. Because I'm not going to sit here and take it to fucking car shows and shit. And be, oh, look in my car. Look at it. I'm so great. I'm not going to take it around and say shit like that. I'm not going to do it. It is really dusty. From sitting in here, plus I got pine trees all the fuck around me. The pine needles blowing this fucking old roof like crazy. There's a vent there on the top. You know, that goes across the tin where it meets the top peak of the roof. There's a round, like a half circular piece of a vent that goes on top, more or less to keep the water out. But pine needles blow with the wind, and they fly sideways up into there. If you go on that top of that I-beam and look up in there, it's just piled with pine needles. And this is what you get. And that's what you get. Motherfucking pine needles everywhere. Pine fucking needles. There they are. Everywhere. Usually end up getting the air hose and blowing them off, where I take it for a ride and blow them off that way. But yeah. I put a little dab of clear right here. Something hit it. I don't know if I got pissed off and threw something or what the fuck happened, but something hit that and chipped my stripe. I just put clear coat on it. Just keep any water from getting under it. And I never fucked with this. I think I'm just going to let that go. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about it. One time it was broke down at a friend's house, and we were fucking with it, trying to get it to run. And where the hell is it? Hell, I can't even see it. Anyhow, he dropped the wrench and took a gouge of paint out over here on top of the fender here. I don't even see it anymore. Oh, here it is. It's right here. Gouged it a little bit. I may need to touch that up again. Looks like it's coming out. But he hit it with a wrench, just dropped the wrench on it. And he's like, oh my God, man, I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's all right. I was like, that shit happens. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I touched it up. And then I kind of sat there and looked at it, and I was like, God damn it. You know, just shit happens. So it's like, fuck. Whatever, man. It's okay. It's fine. Don't beat yourself up over it. It's okay. I touched it up. It's something that you don't see. I really had to look for it to find it. So that's the thing with bright colors like this. Bright colors. If you want to hide shit, paint it something bright like yellow, orange, light blue, even a light metallic blue. Or, you know, I painted that in like a kind of a medium type looking darker blue. But, yeah, if you want to hide shit, that's the route to go. Lighter colors. And, unfortunately, white. I hate the color white. Except for when it's stripes. If I had to do over, these would have been like a cream color instead of just white. I saw a Camaro. Somebody I know has a 69 Camaro. RSSS. It's got an LS and all that bullshit in it, overdrive. It's kind of like what do they call them? I can't fucking think of it right now. I don't know, but it's something they modified. It's got big wheels on it and shit. It's got like 18-inch wheels on it, and which, you know, if I was going to go the big wheel route, all the bigger I would go would be 17s for these muscle cars, because you can still get white letter tires on 17s. You don't have a lot of rubber, but it's good for cornering and shit like that, because you still got a significant amount of rubber, so the rubber don't go under your wheel rim, under the edge, and scuff your wheel up on the blacktop. That's the trouble with these 20-inch wheels. Everybody thinks, oh my God, got to have 20s and 22s and 25s. No, you don't. Because then your tire isn't thick enough to protect your wheel. And then you end up paying all that money for those wheels. You take it to a goddamn course and rip and tear it around through them cones. And you lose it because you got all the weight on the driver's side front fender going around a fucking sharp turn. You scuff your fucking rims up because they will come in contact with the blacktop. But I'm a 15-inch guy. I'm not taking it to tracks where you do that shit because I don't give a rat's ass. I don't care if it can corner or not. It's a straight line fucking car here. That's all I'm concerned about. When I take it out on the street, I'm going to drag race it one last time, and I will film that shit. I'll have somebody film it, and we will see if it got any quicker. As my last time was like the quickest time I ever had in it was a 13. What was it? 13.8, something like that. That was the quickest. The very last time I had the drag strip, was very hot outside. All I could get her down to was a 14.01. Like 98 miles an hour. Even in 13-second runs, I didn't. The highest speed I ever had through there was about 105, and that's when I had them lower gears in it. And you want to get out of the hole quick and hit that 60 foot at a really good time and speed. Because if you ain't hitting that 60 foot out through there very good, you're not going to finish very good unless you have one hell of a top end, is all I can say. But that's what helps you, the 60 foot. If you can get that 60 feet quick, then the rest of it for the car is a piece of cake. But then, I didn't know how bad my transmission was. It was still okay by the last time we ran it down there. That's when the engine started getting hurt. That's when it started producing blow-by. So hopefully I didn't roll a ring. Because if you roll a ring, bust your piston, you're fucked. You're going to see lots of oil come out. But it just kept blowing the dipstick up out. Like every other run, it would blow the dipstick out. I'd have to open the hood in the staging lanes there before you get up to the burnout box. I'd have to open the hood and push the dipstick back down. Them guys, and the one guy seen me doing that, and he's like, "Is there something wrong?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "We're good." I said, "Keeps popping the dipstick up out." I said, "Every other run." And then it started getting worse. Every time I'd get on her and run her to $6,000, dipstick come up out. Then it started blowing oil out of the dipstick tube. It blew it down on the headers one time. Brought flames up the fucking windshield. Scared the shit out of me because I didn't have a fire extinguisher. I'm like, oh, fuck. That was down in town. I was fucking around. I met a couple fellas down there, and they were talking to me about the car and said how they liked it and everything. And they're like, "Oh, get on that son of a bitch." So when I come out of Sheets and went around to the red light and then got out on 40 and mashed on her, and it started getting a little sideways, and I run her up to $6,000, shifted her up, and left a hell of a fucking bark out of the back tires, and then the flames flew up the windshield, and I stopped it right away. Got it off the fucking road, threw the fucking hood up, and by the time I threw the hood up, the flames were out. Don't ask me why or how, but they were. They went out. And I could smell the oil, and I was like, what the fuck? And I pushed the dipstick back down in, and I was like, okay. So then I started babying it everywhere, which sucked. Because every time I'd do that, oil would fly out of that fucking dipstick and down on them headers. And catch on fucking fire, because, zinc and phosphorus loves to burn. So now that this other engine's in here, I wanted to see. It's about got as much timing as I can put in it, and I think I might change the distributor because I don't think that distributor is right. Because on the top end of this thing, it gets like a shutter to it. So you're up around $5,000, got her about 95 mile an hour. That son of a bitch starts to shutter, and like it don't want to go no faster. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. But I'm going to rebuild distributor over here that I rebuilt on my one video I have. If you want to see it, rebuilding an HEI, I got it on here. It got lots of views, which I'm surprised. But I guess a lot of you still fuck with HEIs. So this is this will be the weekend excursion. If I decide to cold start it, I'll put it on. Other than that, I have to go down to the hospital now and take someone to get their blood work done. I was going to pick up my transmission today for the Chevelle. I got one. I had to call the guy and tell him I couldn't show up today to get it. So when I get that, I'll do a video on that shit. So all of you, have a good one. Be fucking nice to each other. Use a little common sense. Stop driving like idiots. Stop driving like mad bastards. So, and I don't know if I showed you guys this or not. Yeah, new skull. Made out of nuts and bolts. It's pretty fucking awesome. And I got it where I get everything else. Evil Bay. Cut it off there. And it's fucking cool. I like it. Ran a screw down through the top of his head to put that damn piece of wire on there. So, yeah. So everybody, that's the buffing excursion for today. Hopefully it isn't too visible where I fixed it, because I'm not a professional. I can only do what other people have showed me, or what some other folks have told me. It's like when you have a run in your clear coat, when you're clear coating a car, get some of that fucking masking tape, wrap it around your fucking fist, the sticky side facing the car, dab it. It'll take them runs right out. So you don't have to do so much heavy buffing. Because I tell you, when you get some of them runs, you got to buff them out, sand them down, whatever, and try to buff them out. It's really hard to do without burning the paint around it. Because you put a burn mark in there. Yes, I've done this. There's a couple burn marks on the car here. It's easy to do. It's easy to burn it. So, everybody, have a good one. And take care of each other. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And we'll see you here again on the next one. Everybody take it easy now.